Special Google searches. Okay, we've looked at using some basic searches to narrow down our results. Now let's take a look at some of the special Google searches. One of Google's strengths is that it not only indexes web pages, it also indexes the titles and descriptions, and you can use special searches to search for text within different parts of a website. One of my favorite searches is the file type search. Now, as the name implies, it enables you to search for certain file types or file extensions. So if we wanted to search for Microsoft Word documents with the phrase MCSE contained in the website, we could use the following search. Now you might notice that in the results we're not just looking for Word documents that have the name MCSE, but we'll also get URLs that link to Word documents that also have the word MCSE contained in the website. Now if we do want to be more specific and search for only Word documents that contain the word MCSE, then we can also use the in URL search. Now we'll find our search results are different, with the URL pointing to a Word document that contains the word MCSE. Now of course our results are not limited to Word documents. You can of course type in any extension that you want to find. So if you wanted to find PowerPoint files, you just type in PPT here, and of course if you wanted Adobe PDF files, you just type in PDF, and so on and so forth. Now as you just saw, we can use these Google special searches either by themselves or in conjunction with other special searches. Now that's great, but what happens if we want to search for more than one word in the URL? Well, then we can use the all-in URL search option. So if we wanted to locate all Word documents that contain the words MCSE and 2003, for example, in the search, then we'd use the following search. So we'd use the all-in URL keyword, and then we'd add in the two search words we want to search for, which is MCSE and 2003, and we'll leave our file type extension for a document, a Word document, and we'll click on Google Search again. And now we've returned with Word documents that contain the words MCSE and 2003. Now this of course searches the specific URL, but what if we just want to search in the title? Well, to do this we can use the in title search. So we're simply up here, we'll type in title, we'll just remove this here. So now we're going to search for the word MCSE that appears in the title of the web page, and we're also going to search for any files that point to a document, a Word document. So again we'll click on Google Search, and here in the results we can see links to a web page title that has the word MCSE in it, and of course links to a Word document. Now similar to the all-in URL option that we just saw a minute ago, we could also use the all-in title option to search for multiple words on a web page title. So again, if we wanted to search for MCSE and 2003 in the title, then we'd use the all-in title, and then of course we'd come over here and we'll punch in our second search criteria, which is 2003, and again we'll click on Google Search, and now we can see MCSE and 2003 listed in the title, MCSE 2003 and so on, all linking to Word documents. Okay, so we've seen searches that search for the title of the web page, and we've seen searches that search for the URL. But what if we want to search for the text, and only the text? So let's suppose we want to exclude these items here. Well, here we can use the in text option. So we'll do that now. We'll come up here and then we'll type in text. And then we'll just exclude this file type here for the moment, and we'll click on Google Search. Now even though it might not look like it, because we do actually see MCSE in 2003 listed in the title, what Google's done is only searched through the text of the web page to find these two words, MCSE and 2003. Alright, well let's move on. Suppose you run your own website and you want to find out which sites are linking to yours. Now here we can use the link search feature to do exactly this. So let's say that we want to find out who's linking to, say, Sony's website. We could simply type in link:/www.sony.com and then hit the Google search. And now in our results we can see which pages do in fact have a link to the Sony website. Now we can actually verify this. We'll just right click and open one of these at the moment. Okay, and I'll just expand this web page and we'll scroll down And in fact, yes, here we go. I can see a link there to www.sony.com. So we'll just close this down now. Now, if you do want to find out a little bit more information about www.sony.com, you can use the info search to find out a little bit more. So we'll just replace this link with info, and we'll click again on Google search. And this just provides you with a little bit of information and a description about Sony.com. Now this brings me to another search option called the related search. Now if we come over here, we'll replace this info with the word related, and we'll click on Google search. Now this will enable us to find websites that are related to this one. Now in the results you'll find companies that are similar to the one you search for. So here we're finding other big manufacturers like Hewlett-Packard and Toshiba. Let's just replace this one here with say Google, for example, and we'll click on Google, and here we can find a bunch of related items. So of course we can find other search engines, Yahoo, AltaVista, Lycos and so on. Now this related option can be really useful if you're looking for a certain product or service and you need to consider some other options. Now for web pages that change frequently, you mightn't find what you're actually looking for, but you can use the cache search option to search within pages that Google has cached but mightn't exist anymore. So using this option, we could do a search for a cached page. We'll type in www.say theregister.uk, and then we'll click on Google search. Now sometimes these cache pages can actually take a little while to load, but what you can see is it's actually caching a page the last time Google actually crawled the web and cached this site, which was the 7th of February. Now if I come down here to my clock, you can see that it's actually the 9th of February, so indeed we're actually pulling out a page which is 2 days old from the Register's news site. So that can be kind of useful if you're actually looking for something that doesn't really exist anymore. Okay, now let's say we want to actually search within a particular site. Then we can actually use a site search. So let's say that we want to search for all pages within Microsoft's website that contain the word MCSE. Well, in that instance, we could simply enter in site followed by a colon and then Microsoft.com and then followed by our search criteria, which is MCSE. And now we'll get back a list of pages that are only within Microsoft's site that contain the word MCSE. Now we could also use our file type search to specify only Word documents within Microsoft's site. So at the end here, if we append a file type for, say, document, Word document, and then again we'll click on Google search, and now we'll be returned with a bunch of web pages that contain the word MCSE only from Microsoft.com and also link to a Word document. So this type of search can be really useful if you know that Microsoft.com has a Word document that you've seen in the past. You might want to go and download that, but you can't remember what name it is or you don't have the URL. Well, you could certainly use something like that to actually get a little bit closer to what it is you want to find. Now if you wanted to, you could even use a combination of site and in URL special searches to find out how many subdomains that Microsoft has, or at least according to Google, how many Microsoft has. So what I'll do is I'll append a little bit of information here and we'll just go through this. Okay, first of all we're going to search within Microsoft.com, and then we're asking for the in URL, and we've got an asterisk.microsoft. So any subdomain which ends with Microsoft. Now we are also going to exclude the URL of Microsoft.com itself, because that's kind of obvious to us. We already know that one exists, but we want to see how many subdomains it has. So we'll of course click on Google search, and we can see Windows Update.Microsoft.com. We could also see Support.Microsoft.com, MSDN, Office, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, these special searches are very powerful. These types of advanced searches make it a lot easier to find what it is you're looking for without using a lot of individual search words. Now in this video we covered searches to find a specific file type, as well as directing our searches to URLs, titles, or the body of a web page only. We also covered how to search sites that link to others and using the related function to find sites similar to the one that we've specified in our search. And finally we covered how to search within a website to find only pages within that site, and how to use multiple searches together to really nail down what it is that you want to find. I thoroughly recommend that you take some time practicing a few of these searches using some of these advanced search methods that we've discussed, as you will find them very useful.